progress.
Hey, it's Tony. How are you? Tell him to tell Jade to come in. Tell him to tell Jade to come in for a minute.
Was I muted, Tiana? Oh. T,
Yes, Carla.
was I muted? Did it freeze up?
Yeah, I think you froze up.
Okay. All right. So what did y'all hear?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay. Okay. All right. I had to cut my Wi-Fi off on the phone. All right. I will greet everybody. I'll call the meeting to order. It is 11 minutes after 12. And I am Carla Coleman, Chair of the Black History Commission of Arkansas, and I greet you all this morning on behalf of the Black History Commission. So I will let my board members introduce themselves, and then we will go to the Arkansas State Archives staff.
I'm Jesse
Dr. Hargrove.
Vice Chair, and very pleased to be here.
I'm
Ricky
Sharice.
Lattimore.
Sorry.
Nikki. Glad to be here as well.
Sharice Jones Branch. Very glad to be here as well.
Is
Pat, you
Pat
muted.
on?
We can't hear you.
Oh, Pat Johnson here. Happy to be here. Can't wait to see everyone in person.
Really, it'll be a lot easier. I'm Dan, Director of the State Archives and the Secretary of Record, and I will yield to the secretary who actually makes notes who are legible.
Tiana Onyoloye, Coordinator of the African American History Program.
April Goff, Admin Specialist. I take the minutes for the boss.
Thank you. Thank you. Our guest.
Rose Moore, Dunbar Hartsman Alumni Association.
Okay. Other guest?
If you're muted, we can't hear you if you're trying to introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm author Phyllis Hodges. Hopefully you can hear me.
We can. Welcome.
Thank you.
Lynn Mosentine, Grand Prairie Historical Society.
Oh, Glenn. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome.
There's
Dr.
someone else on the line.
Is somebody else? Okay.
I don't know. Their thing says Arcan. Can you identify yourself? Because we can't see your face or hear you. You're muted.
We have another guest.
Yeah, I think that's where they're web running the web display thing for.
The Arcan?
Yeah.
Oh.
Where they're telecasting the thing on the public.
Oh,
network.
okay, okay.
And then it's muted too. So we have a Mandy Shoptaw.
She said her computer does not have audio.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
And he's our PIO, our new public information officer.
Okay. All right. Mr. Lattimore, will you
And
grace us
James
with-
Lawson is here too.
Oh, welcome, Mr. Lawson. James Lawson is one of our former commissioners. Welcome. Ricky Lattimore, will you bless this meeting, and then we will move on to the review and approval of the May minutes. And we'll follow the agenda as presented.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, let us pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for this day, another day that you have made. Oh God, you have blessed us with health and strength. We ask that you would cover our families, oh God, and we ask that you would touch where we are right now and bless this nation and the leadership. Now, Father, we ask that you bless this Black History Commission, oh God, as we come to hear of the participants who's bringing in grants. We ask that you guide our hearts and minds. And Lord, we ask that you just do it now in the name of Jesus. We bless you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you. All right, we will review our minutes.
And I did get them. I just got them.
Okay.
Well, I got
Thank
them a few
you.
minutes ago.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Did Jennifer ever get on? Was she able to call in and listen?
I hadn't seen her. She hadn't called me back yet, and she's not in the waiting room.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right, I'll give y'all a few minutes to review the minutes. Thank you, David and April, for the minutes. Okay, do I have let me know when you can just make a motion to approve the minutes.
This is
So moved.
Pat, and I'll approve.
Okay,
I'll second.
April, did you get who moved and who second?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay, all right. Okay, the motion has been made and it was second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Okay, all in so the minutes, the motion has been passed. All right, the minutes are approved, and the next thing on the agenda is our financial report, and then we will have a presentation by the Sykes grant applicants. Is that April? Financial report? Thank you.
I went to get it up there.
Okay.
As
So
you will
this
notice,
is,
as you
go
will
ahead.
notice down on the grant program line, they have
Mhm.
added an additional $5,886 to your grant.
So an additional $5,580, $88.
$5,886 in addition to the original 50,000.
Okay. All right. Okay. And our operational funds are this $14,930 is $30, 13,000.
13,000. Yeah.
Yeah, 930.
Yes. That's
All
your
right.
operations.
Okay. That's our annual operational fees, right?
Yes.
Okay. Nothing has changed on that. All right.
Questions? You're muted, Carla.
This budget goes from October 1.
This budget is from July 1 through June 30th.
Gotcha.
Will you please say that again? July what?
All of our budgets go from July 1 to June 30th.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Carla, I see you talking, but you're muted.
All the time.
Now we can
Wait
hear
a
you.
minute. Am I back on?
Yeah,
Am I
now we can hear you. Now you're locked up again.
Okay. Is it my earbud?
I'm not sure. I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, I can see it's unmuted now. Okay. When was the last time our operational and maintenance, there has not been an increase in this in years, right? Since when? You don't have to answer today, but you can.
I'd have to go back
check.
and look. I know at one point it was like 10,000 something and that went up to 13.
Okay. All right.
But if it makes you feel any better, ours hasn't gone up either.
Okay.
Forever.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So that was my only question. So, is that it for, are there any more questions from the board on the financial report? Okay, well, we'll just accept the financial reports has been presented, and now we're on to our Sykes applicants. Tiana.
Okay, our first applicant is historical marker for Holman Heritage Community Center in Stuttgart, and Mr. Glenn is here for any questions y'all may have on that grant.
All right.
Mrs. Hargrove, how you doing? Is that Mr. Glenn?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I see the description of the historical marker. You're going to publicize the significance of the former Holman School, which was the former African-American center that educated. Can you tell me a little more about how many decades that school existed?
Yes, sir. It was founded in the 1910s as Stuttgart School. And then when the Rosenwald money came around, and I'm off the top of my head, don't know that year. Seems like it was the early 20s.
Yes, that's
yeah.
Julius Rosenwald. Julius Rosenwald, right?
Yes, sir. With
Yeah.
Sears. Yes, sir. And they sort of reestablished the school using those funds and built a proper school. And so it was in continuous use, I think, up into the through the 1970s as part of the
That's what I'm
school
thinking.
system.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's right. A lot of people my age and a few years younger attended school there after desegregation. So it served for, what is that, 6 decades or part of 6 decades, I would guess. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And that, I don't know much about Holman. I know his commitment came through your proposal. What else do you know?
About Professor Holman himself?
Yes.
All right. He was a South Carolinian. He wound up in East Arkansas. Traced him through the census a bit to learn a little bit about him. He came to Stuttgart in about 1910 or 13, maybe 10 to 15, began teaching African-American students. I would guess out of his home or perhaps a church. Got the school built. He passed away. I should have that here. Passed away around 1940. I have that. I do have that info. I could always email it to you. But he taught there as Professor Lee Davis Holman all those years.
Very good. The budget, $2,900 request. And
yes, sir.
Anything you want to add about that?
I got that quote from the marker foundry in Ohio, CWA. Their quote is $2,565, and then I included some more for cost we would incur in getting it installed properly in the ground, and that comprises the $2,900.
Thanks a lot. That's all I have.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Doc.
Hi, this is Sharice Jones Branch. So this is, the company is in Ohio. I'm just curious, does no one do that work here in Arkansas?
No, ma'am. Really, they don't. I don't know where other foundries are offhand. I know that Arkansas Historic Preservation Program uses CWA and has for many, many years. We have a CWA marker from the mid-1960s in one of the communities in the county. But they are pretty much the go-to for this type of plaque that you see typically around historic sites.
I think Sharice, CWA has been the go-to for most of the people that do the historical markers from the Curtis Sykes grant. I know Roland did, and the Arkansas City Cemetery, they also use CWA. So I guess that's the go-to. And if you go through the Arkansas, what is it? Arkansas Preservation Program. I guess Glenn said that that's who they use too.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Just one other thing. I'm just looking at the description that's supposed to go on the marker. Was he from North Carolina or South Carolina? I thought I heard you say South Carolina.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, ma'am. I misspoke. He's from North Carolina.
Okay.
I wasn't looking at the notes, and I'm got the wrong Carolina in there. Yeah, I stand corrected. He's North Carolina.
Okay. And I think you say this elsewhere, but the Black History Commission would get a copy, obviously a copy, perhaps a picture of the marker, but a copy from the flyer from the program or the pamphlet or whatever you're going to give out during the dedication ceremony?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. We will provide you with photographs, anything about the program, the publicity that we would plan to do for it in both county newspapers over there. One is electronic only now, but they do a really fine job of promoting things that we send them and include photos. We would send you any sort of follow-up activity along that line, as we've always done for AHPP as well. We would be glad to do that, of course.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Doctor.
Glenn, are you working? This is Carla. Are you
Yes, ma'am.
working with the Criners?
I am indeed. Bronwyn,
Yes,
Bronwyn and Calvin. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Very okay. All right, because I'm
Oh,
very
yeah.
familiar with that school, and Holly Hope went to Stuttgart to do a cemetery preservation where Dr.
Yes, ma'am.
Holman is buried. So
Yes,
he's
ma'am.
buried there in the Green Grove Cemetery.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
I appreciate and thank you for this, because I think this is long overdue. So work on maybe you and the Criners can work on getting a historical marker at Green Grove also.
Yes, ma'am. That would be a good effort for us to take part.
Are there any more? I think this is a good project to fund, and there's a lot of history. It's so in Stuttgart. There's so many immigrants from or immigration from South Carolina into the Stuttgart area. What is it, South Carolina? And it has a very strong German influence too, doesn't it, Glenn?
Yes, it does.
So I think this is a good project to fund. And if there are no more questions,
when will be the dedication?
Yeah.
That I would like to attend.
Sure. Thank you for that question.
What date?
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
If you don't have it, you can give it to us. Please, Tatiana.
Yes, we would certainly want all or any of you who could attend to do so. Our experience with markers, we haven't done one in a little while now, but it's about a 6-month time frame by the time we order it from them, process some paperwork, and have it there to be dedicated once it's in the ground. So I would estimate for you, Dr. Hargrove, probably early spring neighborhood as far as time frame. We would set that dedication up ahead of time, get it publicized ahead of time. We'll obviously send you all a formal invitation to it. Any of you who wish to speak, of course, would be welcome and and encouraged to, and then we would send you any follow-up publicity type things from the dedication. But I would say in the spring months would be a good educated guess on that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And is this your narrative, or is this just a sample of the narrative that you're going to include?
Are you looking at the where it starts, the wording for the marker?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, where it starts Holman School.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. That is the wording. It satisfies the word count of being a good full word count for a marker where it doesn't look stretched out.
I got you.
If you know what I mean by
Yes.
not having enough info on there. And there's a lot of info in a short space there, actually, but based on a lot of research there at the archives. And as you all know, it's just over the years back then, they just did not do a lot of publicizing of the African American community in the extant newspapers.
That's true.
But we gleaned a lot from what we could find. And
okay.
So yes, ma'am, that's the wording that you said.
All right. So Glenn, what the archives is going to get is the information that you collected to do this narrative, like your checkpoints.
Yes, ma'am.
So that whoever,
absolutely.
All right, that's what we needed to know, because somebody's going to come behind you and learn from you.
Right. Hopefully learn even more. Yes,
Okay.
I'll have that in a Word document form, which will of course go to the archives and yourselves.
All right, thank you.
Of my notes, I have quite a copious amount of loose notes.
Okay.
That these are the high points from, and I even have the census recaps of Professor Holman through his life.
Very good.
That would save somebody some research and that sort of thing. But absolutely, you would get that as would the archives.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And Mr. Glenn, this is Ricky Lattimore.
Yes, sir.
It's kind of ironic. I'm in your town now. I'm in Stuttgart. So
wow. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
How far is that from the Holman Community Center?
Say again where you are, Mr. Lattimore.
I'm at through Hilton, right in front of Mr. Puncho.
Yes. Okay. on the south end of town on 22nd. You are 2 miles from Holman School. If you will go west out of True by Hilton or take a right, you'll come to Burkle Street, which is right there by the high school, the Stuttgart High School.
I appreciate it. I Googled up. Now, one more thing. This is off the record. Now, I need the best restaurant here in Stuttgart. I've been here several days, and I need to know where I can go at. What's the best restaurant?
Well, I would recommend Avanti up on Michigan and Burkle up there.
Okay, that'll work.
That's Italian cuisine. I hear good things about it. When COVID lifts, my classmates and I are going to meet there and eat. That is a very good Mexican place on 22nd on down east of you, down that street on the north side of the street. I forget their name right offhand. I have eaten there, and it's really good.
Well, I appreciate it then. I got the Vante.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Again, a good project. Thank you so much. All right.
You're welcome, Mr. Lattimore. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. Now that we've got Ricky with his lunch, we'll take a motion from the floor.
So moved. This is Sharice Jones Branch.
Okay, it's been moved.
I second Ricky Lattimore.
Okay. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. All right, thank you.
Okay, Glenn.
Thank you, Ms. Carl. Yes, ma'am.
Refresh my memory, because I got it on my calendar, but isn't or maybe it wasn't you, maybe it was somebody else. You have a program coming up next weekend?
We have, our Historic Society has our fall meeting scheduled for Holman Heritage Community Center in October.
Oh,
We would let them know at that time if it were approved, you know, but we're a little worried about COVID on that.
Yeah.
okay.
And we may have to just say, okay, let's have our meeting there in the spring when we're going to dedicate the marker in person anyway, surely by then. But you're probably thinking of that third Thursday in October date I probably sent you,
Okay.
that we kind of planned on having, well, we do plan on having a quarterly meeting there that we were going to invite any or all of you to attend as well. But the
Okay.
marker, of course, would be in the works at that time and not a finished product.
Mm-hmm. And that's when? Third Thursday?
Thursday of October. See if I have a calendar. I'm in the museum's office. And
Okay.
I don't
Third
see it.
Thursday is good enough.
Oh, I've got it right here. I can find it right here on my laptop.
21st of October.
21st.
Yes, 21st.
Thank you.
21st.
Thank you, April. All right.
Well, thank you very much for that. On behalf of our
Okay.
society, the community, we really appreciate that.
Thank you. Tell Gina I said hello.
I sure will. I sure
Okay.
will.
We're good friends.
I know. I think that's where I met you first, Miss Carla.
Okay.
I believe you
Over
were at Richard Buller's
Yes.
memorial.
Oh, yes. Dear friend.
Or were you at Emmanuel School that night back with Pat?
I was
back.
I was there too. I was there
That's
too.
where I met you. That's where I met
Pat,
you. That's
yeah,
been a
Emmanuel
longer
School. Right.
with
And at
with
Richard's
Tamala and her mom. And yes,
right. Absolutely. You got good memory.
yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right,
Thanks a lot
Tiana.
again.
You're welcome.
Glenn, I will be sending you some information, some paperwork to have filled out so we can process. Won't be today, but you'll get it before the week is up. Jennifer
That's
will
really
still
good.
have, huh?
Sounds great. Thank you. Do you need me any further here?
No.
Okay, I'll just get out of the way then. If so, I don't mind staying through it at all, but
that's
if
your
I-
choice. Your choice.
Yeah,
you're
that's
done
your
with me,
choice.
okay, well, I have to shoot a video here pretty soon about my granddad being inducted in the Waterfowler Hall of Fame here next month.
Uh-oh.
So there's a videographer here. It's not Gary Jones, by the way. And he wants to interview me about that. So that's coming up in September. And by the way, Miss Lisa is going to be my +1 to that event, that induction.
Okay, that's awesome.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Congratulations. Yeah.
And we're grateful for the work that you're doing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate all that you all do. And I'll go ahead then and X off here if I can
Okay.
figure out exactly how to without messing something up. I
Yeah.
guess. Oh, I
Tiana,
see.
tell him which way to go. I think
You just hit leave meeting or
Leave button. There it is. Okay. Well, listen, thanks. It's good to see all of you. And
All right.
I really do appreciate this.
and we appreciate you.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
appreciate you. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Good day to all of you.
All right.
As I was saying, Jennifer is still having technical difficulties, but I have her on speakerphone from my office. She can hear everybody. So, but she's here. So if you,
Hello, everybody.
did y'all
Hello,
hear her?
Jennifer. Hello.
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 Yep, we heard her.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hello.
Yeah, they hear you.
Okay. Sorry for the inconvenience. I'm here.
It's not your fault, technical difficulties. Oh.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, well, our next grant is Scipio A. Jones History and Memorabilia. And that's sponsored by the Dunbar Horace Mann Association, Archives and Building Project. Yeah, Rose Moore is here. She's the one over that project.
Well, good morning, everybody.
We can't really see your face.
You can't see my face, you can see the ceiling.
Yeah, we see
Okay.
the ceiling. There we go.
There you go. All right, I'm here.
Paula, are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. This is Jesse Hargrove.
Uh-huh.
And I was reading with excitement that you're going to produce a brochure that's going to emphasize the legacy of Scipio A. Jones and his commitment to justice and fairness in the law. I was intrigued, particularly on page 3, where it says you're going to look at 3 things. You're going to look at the legacy, you're going to look at his life, and you're going to look at how dedicated he was to the cause of justice. I'm intrigued with the part that deals with his life, because ever since I've been in the state of Arkansas, I haven't read anything brochure-wise, document-wise that talked about his pre-slavery born years. He was born into the period of enslavement. Was indeed he a slave of the offspring of slaves? I would like to read some of that in his life part.
Okay. Okay.
You think that will be forthcoming?
Yes, sir. We have a guy who's been studying Scipio A. Jones, one of the guys who's going to be working on the project. So we have invited to come and work with us on this project. He's been studying the life and times of Scipio A. Jones. So he's been doing the history of him for years. So he knows all about him when he was born. And he's at the University of Arkansas, and he has agreed to come on board and help us get this project together and do it right. And give him all the honor and credit that he deserves. His name is Dr. Brian Keith Mitchell, and he's from New Orleans. He's been in Arkansas about 10 years, and he's working on digital projects pertaining to free Blacks in the antebellum South and the commemoration of the 1919 Elaine riot. He's Dr. Mitchell is also, but anyway, he's been studying about Scipio A. Jones for a long time. So we're looking forward to working with him and getting all the information, dates, and everything he has, all the works that he's done. We intend to include that and to do his life justice.
Thank you.
All I can say is if Brian is working on this project, y'all gonna have databases and.
Yeah, I was about the same thing. It will be very well done if he's working on it. Yes. And he actually, along with Guy Lancaster at Central Arkansas Library System, they both wrote the most recent edition of Blood in Their Eyes, or they updated it and did whatever it is they did. But he's very thorough, very, very detailed, and I agree with Tiana. If he's on the project, it will be well done.
I agree.
Thank you. Well, I'm looking forward to working with him. It'll be my first time working with him and meeting him, and so I'm excited. And then I know the legacy. I remember Jones High School. So growing up, I remember about Horace Mann and Jones High School and that rivalry, because my brothers played football against Jones High School. So that goes way back to my younger days. So I'm dedicated, and I'm really, the whole committee is excited about doing this project and doing it right.
I've got two of the grants, but I don't see that one.
That one was
Um,
sent in a separate email. Remember, I told you that I was waiting on some updates, and I sent that grant in a separate email by itself.
T, are you at your computer? Well, let me try. Let me put your name in.
Mhm.
Carla, I just sent it to you.
Thank
So
you.
did I.
Thank you. All right.
I was just about to send it
Okay.
back.
We're gonna
They
make sure
jumped
she has
on.
it.
Thank you.
Or you can just log into the grant portal. It's in there.
You know, I'm not that.
I'm just messing with your car.
She trying to call me out, y'all. I've got it. I'm pulling it up. And so this grant is for like for preparation of getting all of the information together. I'm just waiting on it to come up.
Yes, that's correct.
All right. So it is to compile. Okay, wait just a minute. Now, I have a question. In your postage, and maybe that's in your okay. So the postage is for mailing brochures and letters or request forms. Okay.
That's right. Mhm.
All right. I just question the postage sometimes because I know that, you know, everybody's doing things digitally and everything else. So, okay. So when you go to Elaine, when you travel to Elaine, can I ask, because his office was here in Little Rock, so you'll be traveling to Elaine for what purpose?
That's where the Elaine massacre took place in 1919. And so
Okay.
that's some historical things in Elaine, Arkansas, and commemorating that day and that time. So we're gonna go down and look at some of the things that's there.
Okay, so
we can include some of that in the pamphlet. Some of that information will hopefully be included in the pamphlet.
okay. Because I was just wondering what Elaine had versus the State Archives and the Butler Center.
We wanted to be on site. We wanted to be on site and get some of the data from there, from now, present, you know.
Okay. Okay. Now, but when he went to court, didn't he go to Helena?
I thought it was in Elaine. I thought he tried it in Elaine. I'm not sure. See, all of that I'm not familiar with him researching process. I'm gonna be honest with you, in the process of researching all that. But I thought it was in Elaine. I thought it was in Elaine.
Okay.
But it might be,
yeah.
but it probably was in Helena. So they're right there together.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you'll be learning a lot in this during this transition. Okay, so all right. I'm just making sure that the budget reflects and the justification.
We'll probably be taking some. I have a photographer. I know we're gonna take some pictures of Elaine just for the, just to include in the brochure. I know we're gonna do that.
Sure. Ain't nothing down there. I can tell you that now, but that's okay. Oh, they may have some other things coming up. I mean, that they have done. They may have some stuff there.
Mhm.
All right, so how does the so Wesley Peters is the one that's going to be doing your media.
He's gonna work with media.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, I think this is a good project. I need a motion from one of the members to approve this.
So moved.
Okay.
Sharice Jones Branch.
Okay. Thank you, Sharice.
Thank you, Sharice.
Second, Hargrove.
All right. It's been moved and second. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion passed. Thank you, Ms. Moore, and much success to you on this project. And as Dr. Hargrove says, when you dig deep and you know, we gonna check your sources and stuff. So all of this information that you send in, it'll you know, to the archives, because this is where it'll be housed. It'll be housed at the archives, so others will come behind you to use you as a resource.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you all so much.
Nice meeting you.
Mr. Coleman, may I ask a question?
Yes, David, of course.
Thank you. Ms. Moore, I noticed in your application that your organization has been given the Scipio Jones House.
That's true.
I didn't read. Where is that?
I'm tickled to hear this, because a couple of years ago it was on one of the most endangered historic properties lists.
Yes.
And to find that it has found a home, found people who want to care for it and restore it. That is just wonderful.
Sir, as we speak, they're over there every week cleaning it out, because it has been trashed. I mean, it was trashed and run down there. And
I saw it in its condition, and yeah.
They're working hard trying to get
great.
it cleaned out. Just getting it cleaned out right now so we can get ready to restore it.
So is this the second house? Is this the second house that he had on Cross Street? Because he had another house that was on 11th and Cross.
This was on Cross. I got the address.
1872. Is that right? 1872 Cross.
That's the one we're working on.
Okay, so is the 1100 block that he lived on? David, do you know is which house is the first house?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
This is the only one that we have information on at the time.
Okay. Yeah, because my cousin lives in California, just to add in, and the 1100 block, her grandfather bought their house from Scipio Jones. And she was born in that house, and I was surprised. So her grandfather was oh darn, he was a postman, and you know how the postman and teachers and all of that, but he was a Gillespie. Mr. Gillespie bought his first home from Scipio Jones. So I'll get that other information. All right, I thought you knew. I was just wondering, because one of the houses was a 2-story house.
This is a 2-story house.
So that's the second house. Yes.
It's a 2-story house. And it's supposed to be the last house he lived in.
That is correct. Okay. All right. That's all right. So this is the second house that he bought after he sold my relative the first house. He moved to the 2-story house. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
This is Pat Johnson. Where is the house? What town?
1872 Cross.
What
in
town?
Little Rock, Pat.
In Little Rock, Arkansas.
Okay.
And it's not far from Dunbar Middle School, right?
That's true.
Okay. You got the vicinity, Pat?
I do. I was thinking it was in Elaine.
Oh no, it's here. It's here in Little Rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He was Yeah, he was actually born in is that Hot Springs County, David?
I got it here in my notes. I had, he was born, I think it's shoot, I was just looking at it. You asked me to.
Tulip.
I just put it
It's-
up. Tulip, there
Yeah,
you
it's
go,
near
Tulip.
Tulip.
It's Tulip.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Tulip.
Okay.
He was born in
Alright.
Tulip in Dallas County, Arkansas.
And where is he buried?
And he passed away in 1943. I think he's been buried here in Little Rock.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I forgot. When you go to Tulip and look for Scipio Jones, everybody in that cemetery down there is named Scipio Jones. I promise you. He's because there's a Tuner Chapel AME church, and they have a cemetery on the side. And when we went to the cemetery, it's like, well, did everybody name their child Scipio Jones? So so I just wanted to add that little bit in there.
Oh, well, thank
Okay,
you.
so-
If you need to name your
I'm
child for
enjoying-
someone, you couldn't choose. a
I'm
better
learning
one.
from you. I'm learning a lot from you. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well,
Okay. All
well
right.
thank you so
Well,
much for enlightening my day.
all right. Thank you. Thank you for the project.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
I'll turn it back up. David, were you finished?
Yes, ma'am. Remember,
Okay.
I'm a guest at
All
this
right.
one.
Okay, I'll turn it back over to Tiana.
Well, Rosa, I'll be in contact with you. It won't be today.
Okay.
But so you can fill out the paperwork so they can finish the process of getting your funding.
Oh, thank you all so much. You all have a good day. The rest of the
All right,
of the
you
day.
too.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And our next grant is A Country in Horror, the World is Watching. And
Okay.
Phyllis Hodges is here for any questions you or concerns you may have about that grant.
All right, let me get back to that grant. Hello, Miss Phil.
Hey,
Hi, Phyllis.
hey, everybody. I'm on vacation, you all, so it's a blessing to be watching you all. I'm in San Antonio on my granddaughter's balcony. So if I just kind of fade out a little, tell me to go in another place so y'all can hear me.
Oh, you good? I think we can. I'm just trying to find you so I can see your background. Oh, okay. All right. So, board, have y'all gotten a chance to while y'all ask Miss Phil questions, Phyllis questions?
Yes, this is Sharice Jones Branch, and I would like, do you mind explaining to me what you intend to do with this book? The reason why you want to write this book, because unfortunately, it's not very clear to me in the project description.
Okay. Let me start off by telling everybody the name of it again. A Country in Horror, the World is Watching. And actually, it's a police brutality book centered around forms of racism. A lot of times when people think about racism, they think about race, black, white, but this is not all we should be thinking about. We're talking about gender, sex, female, male. We're talking about the age, and we're talking about class. During this pandemic, a lot of things has been going on, and I guess it was, to be exact, February 21st, I had a crazy accident. I broke my ankle in 3 places. During that time, the George Floyd case was on. A lot of people was really disturbed. They didn't want to watch it, but it was information out there that we needed to watch. So with my accident, I couldn't move. So I'm in the bed all of these months, just crying out, saying, what is it that I can do for our community, for this country? And I was watching this case. At that time, I started making phone calls to some mentors in the community, Sergeant Willie Davis, former Little Rock Police, but he's with the Sheriff Department now. And I shared some things with him. He said, this will be great. It's a great opportunity because we need to talk more about racism the issues that we're having in our community, and emphasis, Black on Black crime. Then I made a phone call to the Honorable Judge Mark Leverett. He said, Phyllis, I'm in. What do I need to do? Then I reached out to got a confirmation from Bishop Richard Allen, and he said, Phyllis, again, he said, with these guys, I know they've been out here. I know they haven't just experienced some things, but they've been a part, witnessed some things. Then I reached out to some universities. So Dr. Dobbins, the PhD at UALR, she was excited for a lot of reasons. One major reason was because Shorter College and UAPB had mentioned to me, well, Phyllis, you mentioned you're going to reach out for a grant. If this happened, we want to use some of our interns. And I was excited, but again, since the pandemic, that was concerning to me, but I know we need the information. I know we need to read, we need to talk. So with those universities having interns or having students, they will be able to do some video clips for us. So the main reason, again, for this book is for communication, so we can talk about what's going on in our community, what's going on in our world, but not just talk about it, have some solutions for these problems. And I don't think I mentioned that Deshaun Scarborough, the director of the King's Commission, he's going to do the forward. So again, doing this research, talking to different professionals and lay individuals, one major thing they were talking, we hear about it, we're not reading enough about it, we're getting secondhand information. So I said, I know it's some things that I can do. So I started penning, and I know for a fact it's going to be a blessing to not just our community, but to the world.
Thank you. I suppose I have a number of concerns, and
Okay.
I think this is going in too many directions. It's a bit scattershot, and just based on, I mean, a lot of what you said was not in the project description, and it sounded more to me like you were describing a potential community event rather than a book. I mean, the reason why I really could not understand what the objective of the project was just based on reading the grant application.
Okay.
Anybody
And
else?
I'm glad you even mentioned that. Can you hear me? When I was
Yes, I
talking
hear.
to Dr. Ms. Key, she had mentioned she wanted me to put more information in the description part, and I thought I did. And
I,
you know,
yes, more information, definitely, but
It
I
sounds
think
more like
this
a
needs to-
program instead of a book.
It sounds more like a program than a book, and I think a lot of this needs to be pared down. For this to make sense to me, I can appreciate a lot of information
and I
about
can barely, hold
one
on a second,
thing.
I can barely hear you. Hold on 1 second, please. I'm
Okay,
gonna get my little step off this bathroom. Hold on 1 second.
okay.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna go inside. I apologize. Maybe I can hear you all a little bit better. Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear
Are you
me?
back?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, yes, this does not read like a book project. This reads more like a community project to me. And I
It
see where
does.
you included a lot of information, but it's a lot of information about so many different things. I mean, it seems to me like this, I mean, you're planning for a 200+ page book, but I really don't get a sense of the organization. It almost seems to me like if you wanted to do something along these lines, perhaps it would be better to just focus on one thing. There's just way too much happening.
Okay. In other words, are you saying instead of doing the different forms of racism, select one of them in terms of the class, the age, or the sex breaking it down in one area instead of all areas. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's just too much to take on. And as I said, this does not read like a book to me. It's just a mass of ideas, good ideas, but certainly not a book. More like pieces that could be extracted from this as part of a community project or a community, I don't know, focus group or something like that. But I'm sorry to say, I do not see a book in this. It's just going in way too many different directions.
Okay, let me ask you this, and I think I did put this here in the proposal in terms of location. We will have the book, we will be presented in schools, churches, and community forums. In other words, having various workshops, but the material will be the book so we can leave something with the individuals that's at the forum or at the school, something that they can have to hold on to. Instead of, a person coming presenting and they leave, but they don't leave anything with the individual.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, well, I was just going to say, that a book will be written, but to me, it does not seem like, just with the conversation this morning, it doesn't have a solid focus. I agree with you, Doctor.
Yes, I mean, in reading this, my most immediate thought was this needs to be streamlined considerably and focused, and then perhaps revised and resubmitted, but perhaps as something other than a book. Or if you are proposing to do a book, it would make far more sense to me, and I suspect other members of the board, if there was some sort of diagram, a table of contents, potential chapters, something like that. But it's not anything that I'm seeing in this as it is at this moment.
Hargrove as well. Can I read some of the things? And it's going down the line that the professor was trying to point out. To make a 200-page hard paper and an ebook to educate readers of the problem. And then it also talks about solutions later on within the description. But these are some points. Is the request to assist with a conference that will allow you to collect information, data for
That's
the
correct.
200-page ebook? Is it to collect data and information? How many open forums are proposed? Who?
Excellent question. Yes, I can. If that's a question for me, I can answer that.
Oh, no. These are the questions that, after I read the description, I had these questions. Who will be invited to these forums? Because I think this is the area that we're trying to fund. What are the costs associated with the forums for $3,500? What is the project printing and duplicating fees related to the brochure that I think you want to produce, but it's not mentioned? It's what the professor may have been alluding to. And I don't see that in the proposal related to a brochure production or forums or conferences to collect the data and the information for the writing of the book. Certainly, I don't think we are funding the writing of the book without the brochure. Is it possible to break out the $3,500 as it relates to the things that we can fund from the Black History Commission grant? you can respond.
For the forums, there was going to be no cost. That was basically open to the public. After we actually get out and publicize that we will be having the forums in the different communities. We were looking at, just giving you an example, Pine Bluff, Little Rock, those two areas. When we have the open forum, the individuals will come there. At that point, we will have one of the community leaders / mentors there. We will have the book there. We will actually have communication from the leaders and then open it up for questions and answers from the community people that's actually there. And the cost in the budget, it was not stated for a cost for the community forum, because again, that was free. It was just talking about the book, or you may want to call it a brochure. It was talking about that for each one of the individuals that's at the forum. That's what I was trying to get out.
And can we actually fund a book like this? And this, where's Dr. Coleman? I mean, Ms. Coleman, where are you?
That's right. That's right. Fix it. I got you. Jesse Hargrove. Don't be putting no doctor on my name. I think my recommendation today is that Ms. Field, that you come back, that we look at this again, so that because now you're talking to where you have gotten most of your feedback is from two authors, Jesse Hargrove and Sharice Branch. Both of them are published authors. Right. And so those are good questions. And I think that because you're trying to do a book and you have not gathered the data, it's and I think that's what Sharice was saying, when she was asking your questions, and then Dr. Hargrove came back, and because it seems like a program instead of a published 200-page book, because these things have not happened yet. So if you would get back with Tiana, get back with us, so that or get with Dr. Branch or
Carla?
Yes.
With the application, we'll need a motion in a second.
That's what I'm getting. Well, nobody's made a motion to approve or disapprove yet.
I want to point out in that cover brochure, that cover jacket, it does not list you as the author or the editor of that work. It lists you as a compiler.
Okay, I've compiled all, the individuals that I just named. They have submitted information in terms of their research. I've compiled all of that. And then if you heard a few minutes ago, I was mentioning that I was watching during the George Floyd trial. So I'm doing my research. So I'm verbally putting things together. So I guess that's what I'm trying to get you all to understand what I'm saying. And maybe I'm missing something. So we do have the 200 and some pages that's in a book. It's not that we're talking about it and now we got to collect it and write it down. It's already written.
I guess what I'm thinking is that there are certain things that we can fund, and as it stands now, the way it's submitted, it can't be funded until it meets the guidelines.
Okay, so I understand whatever your guidelines are. So maybe she will give me specifics on the additional guidelines, because I thought I was going by
that's what she's asking, that we allow you more time to resubmit.
Okay, okay. Because again, it's not my first time coming, presenting, and I presented 2 other books and you all approved. And I came with, again, the guidelines, trying to cross all my T's and dot all my I's. And that's what I thought I did this time. But yes, if there's any additional information that I need, or if I need to switch it some way, just tell me so I can fix it.
Well, can I, from what I'm getting from Dr. Branch and Carla, you want and from Dr. Hargrove, in your budget, you're asking for funding to duplicate a book. They need to see a rough draft of what you're going to print before they say, yes, we're going to approve, because their name will be on that book. They want to see a rough draft. Let them, before it goes to print, you have to do a rough draft and send it to the editor. He got to look over it, make any corrections. Exactly. They want a rough draft of the book you're asking them to help with printing. That's basically what they're saying.
Yeah.
Thank you, T.
Yes, that's precisely right. And with that in mind, I'd like to move that, and help me to say this properly, that number one, revise and refine the grant. And then when you resubmit that, we would also like to see a draft of the book.
Great. Okay, I can do that. I got that now.
Well, that's the motion.
Our second.
Okay.
That sounds
All
good,
right,
Ms.
it is-
Branch, Dr.
It
Branch.
has,
Go ahead, Doc.
you got
I'll
it.
let-
It was moved by Dr. Branch and
Yes.
second by, looked like
Dr.
it was
Hargrave.
second by the majority.
Yeah.
And it was second by who?
We'll give Ricky credit.
No,
Okay.
no,
Okay, we'll let Ricky have that one.
we can't. We
Okay.
just kind of did the same time, so we good.
Okay.
Don't matter.
All right. Yeah, I heard a lot of voices. Okay, it has been moved and properly second. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, the ayes have it, and we are looking forward to you coming back with a more grounded proposal for
Okay,
your project.
Let me ask you all
On the
this,
book.
Commissioner. Let me ask you all
Okay.
this. Since I have the rough draft of everything already, when is the date? When can I come back to you all with it?
The next submission date is October 2nd.
October 2nd. Okay.
But whatever you have, if you can get that in as soon as possible, so that if there's any thing that we that does not fit in, at least you'll have that early enough to keep working for your October submission.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you all so very
Thank-
much.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Where? Tiana?
I'm still here. That was the last of the grant applications for this period. But will tell you, in the last 2 weeks, I've been on Zoom calls and phone calls for maybe 15 to 20 people who are inquiring about the grant. So the next cycle, you may have a handful. So I'm gonna try to get it out and hand it. And just to Dr. Branch, I tried to do what you were saying several times before that grant hit, because I felt the exact same way. And I also talked to Dr. Ware about it, because I was like, I'm not understanding this. And I sent it to her twice. And I said, at this point, I'm just going to let the commissioners, maybe it was just me and Dr.
No.
Ware needing more meat and stuff. And I asked her for a manuscript or a rough draft to see what she was talking about. And so I'm glad that you saw
Yeah,
it.
It was incredibly frustrating. She's not.
Yeah.
It was incredibly frustrating to read. And you saw that I was working really hard to choose my words.
I had to turn my camera off and I was like,
Felt your struggle.
Yeah, you're working real hard.
You've been to Dean School.
Real
Yes.
hard.
I've been to Dean School, yes.
Done a good job, Dr. Branch.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Look, when Dr. Hargrove said, Dr. Coleman, I shuddered for Sharice. I'm like, oh, you gonna have Sharice beat me up?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Oh, shucks. But this has been good. It's been interesting. I love the input from the commissioners and David. You know, everybody. You know, when you give your input, it just helps for a better understanding, and that's what we're all about. You know, there's nothing but teamwork. And Tiana, feel free that when you get something like that, go on and shoot it to Sharice. And
I was trying to get her to correct
I
it
got
several times prior to. I tried my best to get it back and forth before I sent it to you, because I saw all of that in there. Because I still didn't understand it. And even I was like, you know what? At this point, I'm just going to pass it on, and they will have to work with this because I did my part as the best I could.
Right. We understand, and you can only do so much, but sometimes we can look at it prior to kind of eliminate so much frustration, because that was a bit much.
Yeah, but when they take forever to get it back to me, that's the point. When they send it to me and I'm reading, I'm telling them, okay, send it back, and then they wait a week or so and then they send it back, and that's where the time frame comes, because I'm playing.
I got to go, you guys. See y'all later.
Thank you. I think we're through voting, right?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So, what else?
Well,
what else?
if you have any other business that needs recording, we need to make sure we keep 4 people on here.
Okay.
I think we're good right now.
Okay. All right.
Trouble.
So, do we have anything else to? What else do we have, David?
Okay, the next thing on the agenda is the African American History Program Coordinators Report.
Okay.
Well,
T, it's over to thee.
Well, my report is going to be short. Like I was saying earlier, your next cycle, you may have a lot more grant applications submitted, because I've been within the last 2 weeks. I know I've had like 20 phone calls and talking and Zoom calls with potential grant applicants who may be submitting grants for the October 2nd. So you may be overwhelmed. So clear your calendar for that day, y'all. Whatever day it is, clear your calendar for that day. And
what date is that?
I still want to confirm that your February symposium, you still want to do it in person. I already booked the Mosaic Templars for that, but with different variants and the COVID going up and down or whatever, I just want to make sure that it's where you're still wanting to head for February.
That's fine. It's good to book ahead of time, and then if something comes up, we can always cancel it. So it's good.
Okay, well then the next thing is the topic. I was looking at the minutes from a while back on the different topics, and one thing that stood out to me was medical, African Americans and the medical profession in Arkansas, and one topic that stood out to me was midwives. So I was wondering if you all want to do something about African American midwives in Arkansas. Would that be something?
Can we just do it on African Americans in medicine and medical field or whatever in Arkansas? I'm inclined to keep it more broad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
not presenting anything this time, by the way.
Oh, she jumped in there quick, didn't she?
But she might not have written a book about that yet. That's why.
Not yet.
So Oh, you off the hook this time.
Okay, I'll take it.
But I'd like to commend you guys for the last one. That was with the last one with the sororities and
Sorority.
that was yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, I call it Zoom Gate because of the Zoom bombing.
Right,
that
right.
We have other organizations still talking about that incident.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
It was, but that was a good teaching thing, because now other organizations are trying to be more secure so that it doesn't happen to them. So that was an experience. Because Sharice, you kept saying, "Excuse me," when they kept interfering. Excuse me.
We survived.
Yeah,
yes, we did.
And I'm just glad that they did it after Sharice's awesome presentation. That
Oh
was
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just didn't
I'm
want
telling
David's
you.
question to be answered. So they like, David, we don't want to.
We probably won't have Snoop Dogg on the next program.
Can we afford him?
We got him for free, didn't we?
Yes, yes.
Oh, that was something.
So with the topic being about Arkansas and medicine, African Americans and medicine in Arkansas, however we decide to word it, we're going to need
we'll fix
at
that
least
title.
3 presenters for that topic. So, your suggestions is needed. If you know anybody who could talk about something in their field or individual medicine, because we have a lot of people who made a lot of history in the state of Arkansas on that particular.
Sure. Yeah.
But it takes the right person to present.
And the pioneers, because Dr. Robinson, we have and the doctor, the Millers in Helena, David, wasn't there one of the Johnston brothers? Was he in the medical field in early Helena?
I think so, but I don't know for sure. I'd have to do some checking.
Okay, I'll just checking myself at, you historians, I don't want to get out of line, but that's, but there are some pioneers that if we could get some speakers to focus on and educate us on, and like Sharice said, if you keep it like that, because it took the doctors for the midwifery, is that midwives, to come in, because the doctors, those were just nurses in training, weren't they? But they focused on helping women have good births and good, healthy babies.
Well, and they were the only ones available and accessible in poor rural communities.
Yes.
Especially in minoritized.
Amen.
They couldn't afford a doctor, and often there were very few doctors, and white doctors wouldn't treat a lot of those folks.
Right.
That's right.
But I'm still not volunteering to give a paper.
But you can volunteer some names of people who did.
Okay, so our mission is to get some
hit me some names of some people I can contact.
All right.
Dr. Hargrove, some history of the McRae Sanatorium might fall into this heading as well.
It sure could.
Absolutely falls under it.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Hargrove, are you doing the history on that?
Yes, I'm working on that. Yes.
So are you working on becoming a speaker for the February?
Listen to you.
When in February have we
work on him?
Have we nailed down a date yet?
First Saturday in
Dr. Jones Branch is my nominee.
The first Sat-
I'm already overcommitted.
I heard that you're never in town.
February 5th.
February 5th.
That's the first.
the first
Okay.
Saturday.
Yes.
Let's get some of that data. I do need to come by your office to get
I got
some.
lots of it for you.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay. Let me do that.
Plan on a whole day.
Yes. Definitely.
So you saying yes to my proposal?
The hospital aspect, they're talking about the medical, African Americans and medical. I guess
Yeah.
one of the topics is going to deal with the first Black hospital.
Okay, that'd be good. That'd be great.
What,
For
Dave?
doctor.
David Ware, what do you have?
Oh, you saw my hand up. You must be a professor.
Oh, I didn't even.
I do it quietly. One thing that occurs to me is, you have the role of Meharry's Medical School in training many of the early African American doctors in Arkansas.
Sure did.
Pharmacists.
Yeah.
One way to broaden the folks a little bit, maybe find someone who has done some work in the history of Meharry's medical program.
Oh,
How that program trained doctors who came to Arkansas. That's one possibility, at any rate.
Yeah, because Dr. Jones is one of them, right, David?
Yep.
Okay.
Jones, which Dr. Jones?
I can't think of his first
I'm
name, but he
blanking.
was the one. He had the he was the first doctor to open up a hospital for the Mosaic Templars or the Fraternal Order, right?
Yep, I think so.
Carla,
Yes.
would Dr. Jocelyn Elders fall in any of this?
She's a Black
Definitely
doctor.
be somebody to consider for that.
And
yes, I would say yes.
Covers the
Because if you-
African Americans in the medical field.
yeah, because you could, whenever they talk, they could bring up the other doctors that have come behind the pioneers. I'm sure that's what they're gonna do.
I think that would be excellent to have her.
Yeah.
Because Philander Smith College just named its one of its programs after her. She was a 1952 graduate of Philander Smith College.
Yeah.
And went on, as you know.
I'm wondering if she would speak on that.
It would be worth asking.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
would hope so.
Because that
Okay.
would be a lead off and it would attract quite a bit.
Sure.
Who said
Okay.
that they gonna get a hold to her? Who said that?
I think you know how.
Oh, I thought somebody had said. I mean, I can do that. I thought somebody.
Good.
I need
Okay.
some contact
I
information.
just mentioned her name.
Oh,
I just
okay.
know where. Look, I just know where she lives. But T, if you got her contact, that will.
I do not.
Yeah, and you can do it.
I might. Yeah, I can ask.
Okay.
You can also
Dr.
talk about organizations like the State Medical Association of Negro Physicians.
Oh
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh
we
wow.
can.
Yes.
We
Okay,
need.
so I'm
we need
changing
to-
my mind. I want to do something now.
Yay!
I've already started nosing around, and I'm just like, no, I want to do something too. Although I
Okay,
wonder
Arkansas
sometimes if
State
people get
Medical
tired of
Association.
seeing me present.
No, it's not even
No.
about you presenting. It's about the
I'm
information
glad.
that you give us, and you be so
Yeah.
thorough with your research.
Yeah, we ain't
Yeah.
tired of
You're a
you.
good presenter too. I don't fall asleep when you speak, so you're good.
Yeah.
Dr. Jones Branch,
appreciate
remember,
that.
you are being recorded, so we now have this.
Uh-oh.
We are all being recorded. So speak for
stuck, Val.
posterity and be careful what you promise.
Amen. Thank
Yes,
you for that.
just okay. Go ahead and put me down. That'll incentivize me to start doing the
Wow.
research for that.
Yes.
Yay!
So we
So the
got
Arkansas
Dr.
State Medical
Hargrove, Dr.
Association.
Branch, and if we can get Joyce Elders, we good. So what we're gonna entitle this workshop?
African Americans and Medicine in Arkansas.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a good one. Arkansas in medicine. Arkansas African Americans in medicine.
Yeah.
Is that what you
African-Americans
said?
African Americans in medicine in Arkansas,
Okay,
or
Okay.
yeah, medicine and medical field, something like that. You can
Yeah.
finesse.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
I'm so sorry, but I
Alright.
have to get back to deaning now.
okay.
We need to
All
fix
right.
a date for the next meeting before we don't have. a quorum.
Okay,
And
yes.
we need one more thing. Remember that
Oh, yes, the AGS
new
thing.
business, the AGS thing.
Okay. All right. So
So should we skip to new business?
we can. Let's skip the new business, David.
Okay. That would be the proposal from the Arkansas Genealogical Society for the Black History Commission to be a co-sponsor of their upcoming event. I don't know the details. Who has this information?
Oh, I do. And but let me go back to my message. This sponsorship will happen in October, and they are the Black History Commission will be like a major sponsor, and they're asking $1,000 for the sponsorship. So we can use the advertisement. So that's what this is for. The Arkansas Genealogical Society. And they're it's in October 2021. And that's it.
Carla, a couple of quick questions for you.
Yes.
Are we paying AGS or are we
We're not-
paying something else?
We're donating for the sponsorship of their symposium that's going to be held in October.
So we would be paying AGS money.
That's where, that's where the money is going, because they're it's for a speaker. So
But the detail is, are we paying an honorarium to the speaker or are we paying the Arkansas Genealogical Society?
we're giving it to the Arkansas Genealogical Society for sponsorship.
Okay, that's what I need to know.
Okay. All right.
It changes the paperwork.
Okay, we're giving it to, it's going to the Arkansas Genealogical Society
All
for
right, in
the
that case,
sponsorship, and they're going to do with it what they're, towards the conference. Now that's the information that I got.
this is for their big fall conference. They're
Yes,
basically, they're wanting you guys to sponsor, paying for the speakers to come to speak at the big symposium. And they'll get your name
Yes.
out there on it.
mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes.
So in that case, do we have a motion and a second? So we can get poor Dr. Branch out of here.
So moved.
Yes, Dr. Branch. Okay,
Dr. Branch moved.
okay. Who second?
Pat,
Okay.
Pat second.
All
All
right,
in
gotcha.
favor say aye. Aye.
aye.
Okay.
All right. I'm good.
All right.
All right.
Do we-
And the date for the next meeting would be November 18th is the third Thursday in November.
Okay, November 18th. All right.
Any
Next
objections?
meeting. Mm-mm.
Via Zoom.
Via
Let's-
Zoom.
Let's plan for Zoom.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So is that it? It is 1:42. I think we've done good on time, considering we had the grants and a struggle.
Uh-huh.
All right. So do we have any more business? We've got the date and time for the next meeting.
Yep. I think we're about covered. Unless
All
there's
right.
something else you know about.
Dr.
And
Hargrove.
symposium will be February 5th.
February
Yes.
5th.
The
February
first Saturday, yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay, February the
I'd
5th.
like to move that we adjourn.
All right.
And
Thank
it's
you.
non-debatable.
All right.
I
Thank
second.
you all, and thank everybody for being on. Thank you,
Okay.
David and
Bye-bye.
April.
Have a good day,
Bye-bye.
Thank
everybody.
you all.
Uh-huh.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
And
everybody.
T.
Godspeed till we meet again.
Right.
David? Did you say bye, David?